All right, we'll go ahead and start. Welcome to this panel today on Hong Kong cinema. We're very honored and proud to have two directors today, both of whom have films in the festival, and also a producer who I have worked with, and so we'll talk about that. So let me first, my name is Michael Werner. This is my, 10th or 12th time at Udine, and I love coming here. And as I said the other day, this is my first in-person festival since Berlin of 2020. So I think we're all thrilled to see you and all thrilled to see each other and to watch films in person, and it's really fantastic. So Sabrina and Thomas, thanks for keeping the festival going so strong and to bring us all back together, and it's wonderful. So big round of applause to you guys from all of us. Okay. So on the far left here, we have director Chiu-hoi, and his film is The First Girl I Loved, and it's his first film, right? And so we'll talk about that. Then we have, next to him, we have producer and festival and programmer, chief programmer for the Hong Kong Arts Center, Teresa KWONG. And Teresa and I worked together. We helped produce a movie called Suk Suk, which many of you may have seen. And Teresa's also the producer of Amos's film, which is Far, Far Away, which is a wonderful film. And even though I've lived in Hong Kong for 27 years, I think I've only been to one or two of those places. So it's very, very far away. So I thought we would ask the two directors first to maybe talk about their career path, because neither of them started out as directors. Amos, you started out in the print business, media business, and Chiu-hoi, you started out as an actor, I think, right? So maybe you both can talk a little bit about how you managed to end up as directors. Amos, maybe you can start. It's Amos' third film, so we'll let him start. He's the senior director here.
Actually, my first university course was studying film TV. Yeah, but I guess it's not really easy for new director to start their career in Hong Kong. So in order to survive, I have to work in a media-related cases, like working in magazines or newspaper to survive. Yeah, but of course I didn't expect that I have to spend 20 years in printing media before making my first feature film. That's a little bit unexpected. But on the other hand, right before making my first film, I was already 40, and I was kind of accepted that maybe I can never make my first film. But when you reach that stage, which you have already let it go, then opportunity arises. So life is quite amazing.
Hello, everyone. This is my first time in this film festival. It's my honor. So thank you, Sabrina. Thank you, the judge. It's really funny that I study in City University of Hong Kong, and I'm studying School of Creative Media. It's kind of some contemporary art, some moving image, and Patrick Tam is our instructor in City U. And I don't even think I can be a director after when I graduate in university. I just think about, I like acting. I want to be an actor in the theater, not film and TV. But it's something is really funny that when you want to choose to be a actor in the theater, but there's no chance. And then you got like a search online. There is a acting workshop in TVB. It's a TV company in Hong Kong, the biggest one. And there's an acting workshop, and I joined it. And they have subsidies. I said, wow, you can study acting and then you still have your subsidy. That's good idea. And then I say, okay, and I entered it. And after 5 or 6 years working in this industry, you figure it out like their production is a bit lazy and a bit rushed. I don't like that because when you're an actor, you can't say anything. You just you can modify your scene, but you can't to modify the whole storyline. That's why I asked my another director, Candy. She's my university classmate, and I say, I have this problem. Let's figure it out. And she said, okay, let's write the script, and then we do the director. And I say, okay, let's do it. Then we write the script, and then we applied different fund in Hong Kong. And luckily, we have Hong Kong Film Mark. We have a forum, and then we present our film, and then we got the boss, and then they give me the money, and we can start our first film. But of course, because our filmmaking using like 6 years, because there's so many problems inside. As a first director, is a bit, you don't know the scale. You just use your own way. You think this the right direction, then you go through it. But there are so many problems, and then film is really hard to making in Hong Kong. So I think we were doing we're trying our best to make a film that we like it. So that's it. Our director role.
Now both of you, hello. Both of you made films that are love stories, right? Yours is an LGBTQ love story. Yours is a a road movie all over Hong Kong, searching for love with different women. So, in today's environment in Hong Kong, because it's a very different place now. For those of you who have been reading the newspaper, you know Hong Kong has changed significantly in the last 2 years, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But we'll try not to get any of us arrested because we all have to go back to Hong Kong, and we don't want to get arrested. So, love stories are kind of a safe space, right, in the current environment. Maybe Teresa, you can talk about that. Is that true? I mean, sort of love stories are not political. I mean, everything now is slightly political in Hong Kong, but love stories in a way are not political.
I would say, I think Far Far Away, it's my 7th feature film that I serve as a producer. I just have a quick, going through my mind. Most of them are, about relationship, about love or family, But I would say the filmmaker that I've been working with, including Amos, the first thing that we decided to get on the project, it depends on, because all the film that I got involved are independent film. That means it's initiated by us. It's not by a commissioning. It's not a commission by a big studio or big film company. So they are all initiated by the filmmaker. So that means that are the story that the filmmaker would like to tell. And as I said, because independent film, we don't have a big backer. Sometimes we could got fund. Okay. So we have to stay our budget small and manageable. So definitely we could not make action film, or I don't know, gangster film. That's really out of the scope. So we have to stay the budget small, manageable. So I would say love story or film about family relationship would be definitely the subject matter that kind of the filmmaker will thinking of. Second, it's Far Far Away, we didn't got any government money, but for the other film, even Dot to Dot or Napping Kid of Amos' first and second film, we got money from the government. It's about how can I say? It's about 2 years ago. As Michael said, things have been changing. I would say 2 years ago, if we apply film funding from the government, we still have the freedom to submit any story and blah blah blah, and even the censorship, they are much more open. Yeah, but definitely, I mean, in recent 2 years, the panel, they will be much more cautious about the proposal or story being submitted, and that's why definitely I'm sure in the next 3 years, the Hong Kong cinema will, especially for the one who got the bigger budget, will be very clean, quote unquote. That means that nothing about what's happening, about the society, about the political situation, but yeah, or much more about entertaining or whatever. So yeah, that's the case, and yeah.
It will be very difficult for more independent film production in Hong Kong. That's for sure. That's what I think.
It used to be that, you know, we could say Hong Kong was one of the least political places in Asia, right? Most people were pretty politically apathetic and really didn't care too much. And the government was, you know, standoffish in business and politics. And now we're at a situation where, and it's not a secret, I mean, they imposed last year something called the National Security Legislation. So all of a sudden, film and culture falls under the domain of the national security legislation. And the reality is, it's all brand new, and nobody really knows, not even those people know, what are the rules, right? What are the guardrails, what are the boundaries? So it's all a little bit scary in a way, right? We have to be very cautious right now, which is a shame because Hong Kong wasn't like that before, and now, at least in independent cinema, you need to be a bit cautious. The other thing maybe you guys can talk about is, you know, the society has really split along different lines. So we have the blue side, we have the yellow side, we have the red side, so in a way, when you do the casting, right, when you think about the story and the casting, you have to kind of think, is this a blue story, which is more like toward the government and the establishment and the police, or is it kind of a yellow story, or will it appeal to those people, right? There's a lot of collateral damage if you're not careful. So maybe you can talk about how the casting works, or how you guys think about the story.
For me, because I think we are doing like a low budget film, so we are initiated to make this project. So when we're doing the casting, we would just. For me, I don't think about this. I just do what I want. And is it that this actress or actor is suitable for the cast? That's the main point. And because you can't even think about that. Because when you think, okay, if there's a line, that's fine. But there's no line, you know. If there's a clear line that I can, okay, don't cross it. Right. But no. So you have to think about it. But sometimes you have to overthink it. So I even don't think about it. I just do what I want, and then let the maybe film company or maybe the film industry let them discuss it, or they like maybe we'll do the yellow one or the blue one. I don't think about it. I just do what I want. That's my direction. Yeah.
For me, I guess our cases are similar, because we are low budget film, and we are our stories are about young people. Right. So in the sense, we have to cast someone which is less experienced, yeah, and less established, right, as an actor. So we don't really have that problem politically, yeah, because in some sense, when we are talking about actors with different political background, we are talking about established stars, right, which we will never have the ability to afford. So we don't really have to think about that issue. Yeah.
So like the mainstream companies, we'll call the Hong Kong studios, they make the big commercial pictures, and they know how that business works, and they know how to skirt these issues. When you're talking about independent cinema, where you have themes that maybe are, they're always pushing the envelope sometimes, right? That's what independent cinema is about.
Yeah, we often said we expect the Hong Kong cinema in future, I don't know, 5 years or 5 years, I would say, there will be two directions. One, it's what like Michael said, it's a big budget and they could got mainland money. Yeah, so they target big money, big return. Yeah, while on the other hand, it will be the smaller budget. No matter it's an independent production or even some film company, they are okay with smaller budget, medium budget, which is under 5 million Hong Kong dollar, which is 500,000 euro. Yeah, and for them, they don't necessarily need to attach with a mainland market, but for that kind of project that might be smaller scale, maybe with I don't know, less established artists, and they could target maybe local market or other part of the world except mainland. Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, as an independent filmmaker, of course, I want to push as far as possible in a certain extent, because if I don't have anything to tell, why do I need to make a film? So, as I said before the screening of my film yesterday, Far Far Away is a bit like a romance comedy. But if you know Hong Kong enough, then you can see a little bit more. And that's what I can do at this moment. Yeah. In certain extent, I can't do more.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, the great thing about this film festival, the Far East Film Festival, is that it embraces both aspects of Hong Kong cinema. It embraces the big mainstream pictures that are the crowd pleasers and have huge budgets and a lot of the big cast members from Hong Kong, and that's great. And that role, that Hong Kong will still continue in that space. But you also embrace sort of art house, independent, thought-provoking cinema, which is really, really, really important and I think very special and important now, especially given the changes that are happening in Hong Kong. Teresa, maybe you can talk a little bit about the financing for independent cinema in Hong Kong, because it's not as easy as it used to be, and it's complicated now, right?
I would say, yeah, it definitely is a difficult time, but yeah, it's also an interesting moment. Yeah. So I think what about creation is about how you work with the limit and make the most out of it. As for finance, I would say most of the independent film before or now, definitely public funding. It's one of the crucial aspect. No matter it's Hong Kong Art Development Council, where they support much more smaller or artistic project, to the Hong Kong Film Development Fund, where they could support definitely the first film filmmaker, and also they also have a co-financing scheme, where the government would also like to be co-financing in the Hong Kong cinema. I would say, yeah, but so that really depends on the story. Like, for example, if the story that didn't have much aspect or quote-unquote sensitive, then definitely you could still try the public funding. Yeah, they're still very supportive at the moment. Yeah. But on the other hand, I think the independent filmmaker, they will come up with, I think they have a tendency to make it smaller, which is, let's say for Far Far Away, our total budget, it's around 2 million Hong Kong dollar. That is 200,000 euro. which is very, very small. And you know, some new filmmaker, they even keep it, you know, even you know, much more slim, on a very slim budget, yeah. So they don't have the pleasure to got the money back, yeah. So where they got the money, sometimes they may approach their friends, family, and of course some of them also thinking of crowdfunding. Yeah, that's in recent there's a documentary Hong Kong also on the sensitive topic called Blue Island. Got I would say the post-production money from the crowdfunding. Another animation feature film that are involved is called Dragon Delusion. It's they got a very successful crowdfunding campaign. We got 1.6 million Hong Kong dollar. Just for the crowdfunding campaign, yeah. So yeah, I mean, yeah, that's how we have been working towards. For us, I mean, me and Amos, including Far Far Away, we are using this kind of combination to finance our own film. Oh, one very important, the key crew, including us, we didn't got income from the film. We how can I say, we use the share, we act like a shareholder. We got a certain percentage afterwards, yeah. And not only us, but maybe other key crew like the DOP, etc., etc. Because I think all of us believe in the project, believe in the filmmaker, and we think, yeah, let's make it happen. And our approach is, luckily, we are able to work with Golden Scene, which is a very, very important, and Winnie and Felix, they really support Hong Kong cinema. So that means while working with them, they also invest some money. On the other hand, they are our world sales agent as well. So that means the distribution already guaranteed. Yeah.
Right. So that's another issue in Hong Kong now, which is that if you push the envelope too far as a filmmaker, you may find that you can't find theatrical distribution, right? That in the past, we had great cinemas, we had chains, and they would play every kind of film, art house film and controversial films and just a wide range of films. And now it's very narrow. The exhibitors are very conservative. A couple of the chains have actually gone out of business because of COVID and whatnot. But you cited Winnie Zhang, which is Golden Scene. She almost stands alone in a way, handling this kind of independent Hong Kong cinema as an exhibitor. So it's a lot of changes, and what I can say is it's still changing. So we don't really know yet. So I think that's another question for our two directors, as you contemplate what's your next projects, how do you assess what you want to make, given the fact that the situation in Hong Kong is not 100% clear in terms of how the audience is working, how you can get distribution. Maybe Chiu-hoi, you start.
Because I'm the junior, the first director, and maybe you're senior, you know more about the film market. This is the first time I entered to the film market. So for the next film, I think the most important thing is to be the creative and the story. If you make a good story, and based on the first film, the investor, they will know what you can do. And if the story is attractive, I think they can give you money. But of course, when there is a product in this film market, you still have to have your starting point. So for me, first of all, I should make the film that is really touched me. Then I write the script, and then we can find different investor. Something like some investor is from Malaysia, some investor is from different kind. My friend is doing the insurance, and they say I have a friend like they can spend a million for you to make the film. I said, okay, let's discuss it. But sometimes it works it doesn't work. But it's really different, I think, between from the past, because we can have a digital movie making machine, and then it's much cheaper than before. So the main important thing is to control the budget. If you can control the budget, and then you can make a good film. For me, I think, yeah.
Are you writing your next film at the moment, or?
Still have a researching, because my film is making like 6 years, and then I want to take a break first, and then get more input. Yeah, because I don't want like a machine and then keep doing. I don't want to do that. Yeah.
Okay. Amos?
My case is a little bit different. How to say? All of my 3 films, at least half of the budget, are secured by my friends. Maybe I'm much older than you, then I work in a lot of industry before. So I got a lot of friends, and they are quite supportive. Yeah. And the good thing is I got a lot of friends. I can ask them to give me some money, and bit by bit I can do a small budget films. But on the other hand, I would feel certain extent of pressure, because they are all my best friends, and they invest in my film. They believe in me, and I don't want them to lose all the money.
Right.
And after my first 2 films, both losing money. Yeah, both losing money. So for the third film, Far Far Away, I tell myself I have to make it profitable. And even though I'm more senior than you, but this is only my third film. I am sort of a new director. So as a director of this level, and I want to make my film profitable, must be profitable. I guess the only thing I can do is to keep the budget low. Right. So that's why Far Far Away is very low budget. And we just shoot it with 12 days. Yeah. So, and
But it doesn't look low budget, You really shot it well.
yeah, I take it as a compliment. But Far Far Away is I'm experimental. I'm doing some sort of experiment in script writing. How to write a script which can let me shoot as fast as possible without sacrificing quality. Yeah, for my first 2 films, I can have 5 minutes of footage per day, per shooting day. But for Far Far Away, I increased the output to 9 minutes. So I can do it within 12 days.
Right.
And of course, I do some tricks in script writing, especially the structure of the scenes, a lot of stuff. Yeah, so I guess this is the way for my, at least for my next few films. For example, I may do, if Golden Scene say yes, then I may start doing my next film maybe in June. And because I think of a story which is quite special, I think it's just one-off case. Yeah, I guess my assistant director said, and even me and my production manager also said that we can make it within 6 to 8 days.
Wow.
Yeah, so because I can shoot it within 6 to 8 days, so the budget will be even lower than Far Far Away.
Right.
Yeah, and it's about the relationship between people and smartphone. So a lot of scenes will be the actor, one actor with the mobile phone. So if you shoot with less actors, you shoot much quicker. Yeah, so that allowed me to do a 6 to 8 days production for a feature film.
Some of the new mobile phones cost more than the salary of the actors, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking for sponsor of smartphone.
Yeah. That may be an issue. Do we have time for a question or two? Yeah. Okay. Any questions for our director producer about Hong Kong cinema or?
Question to the first-time director, congratulations. But I'm very curious, why do you pick an LGBT film and also two girls, not two guys? For you.
Actually, this film, this story is based on a true story of my friend. And for me, I don't even think this is a LGBT film. I just think it's a love story. It's really touched me when I heard the story from my friend. And there are so many scenes, pictures is coming out when I heard the story. And when I heard this story and I discussed with my friend Candy, and I said, okay, we should shoot this film. We should shoot this story. And so, as a male director, for filming this kind of LGBT story, I just find a perspective to get into the story. Is the character called Wings. It's something like reflect our judgment of love. I think everyone will do that. Like when you're teenagers, you love someone and you put effort in that, and you cry, you smile when you're looking at her, something like that. So it's similar. For me, it's similar. So when I'm filming, I just find this way to get into the story, then I can do it. So I don't even think there's an LGBT story. Yeah. So that's why I do it. Yeah. Thank you.
Sabrina, you have a question?
I have a question for Amos, because your movie is like a road movie throughout the city, Hong Kong, and but you didn't use the MTR for your film. So because Hong Kong is so my image of Hong Kong is strongly related to MTR because it's one of the fastest city in the world. So you can move around with very fast. Thanks also to the MTR, which is very good. So there is any reason for that?
Oh, it's a bit political now, right? If anyone saw my first film, Dot to Dot, it's heavily based on subway. Yeah. So in the sense that my first film is already covering subway in Hong Kong already. Yeah, of course, just kidding. Yeah, and if you pay enough attention to Far Away, then you can see that when the boy searching for the route to his love, then his app written by him, there is an option. Yeah, whatever you search the route, take away railway option. Only take bus, ferry, and of course by foot. Yeah, just like I said, if you know Hong Kong enough, understand Hong Kong enough, especially for the last few years, then you understand what we are talking about. Yeah, I guess there are only one kind of people in Hong Kong that refuse to take subway these days. Yeah, they strictly execute this option. They never take MTR subways, and they only take buses, tram, ferry, and by foot. And yeah, it's a bit political. Yeah, it really depends on how much you understand Hong Kong. Yes.
By the way, one of the most cinematic images of Hong Kong is about to disappear, which is the Star Ferry. There's a whole discussion about the Star Ferry being closed. So that would be a shame for all of us, because it's such a wonderful it's a great cinematic experience, right? Seeing the city from the ferry or being on the ferry. More questions or?
Question for both of you in terms of your stylistic choices that you made, because I think they're both very unique. For Far, Far Away, I think I would like to know more about the graphics that you use. And for The First Girl I Loved, I think the color and like the feel and the vibe of the images are really unique. So I would like to know your influences and references.
Actually, we studied film in Hong Kong. There are so many Hong Kong film directors influence us. Mostly is Patrick Tam, our instructor, and Wong Kar-wai. So it's like it's kind of experimental in this film. We're trying using different filter because it's suggested by our cinematographer, and I like photography. I'm a photographer also, so I always discuss with my cinematographer, and I say I want that. But if I want that feeling, what can you do? I always provide some question for him, and he say, okay, you like this, okay. And how about the lighting? The lighting, you have to do whatever you want, and so if it's like a taste. I mean, it's the taste. Like we don't want to imitate someone. We just want to, like, if there's a romantic scene, what image, what the color, what the lighting can provide this feeling for the audience. That's the most important things. So, is it? And I can answer your question. Yeah. So.
Okay. My wife, my producer, Teresa, just mentioned one of her cooperation, her projects named Dragon Delusion. The Dragon Delusion is an animation film. Behind Dragon Delusion, there are a few key persons. Two of them are twin brothers. We call Hayes. Yeah, and Hayes is our graphic designer. Yeah, and the apps, the role finding apps are decided by him and his team. And we know Hayes quite a long time. He also worked in my second film for the graphics part. And because we are all independent filmmakers, so we tend to helping each other. So Hayes just charged me a very low budget for doing all the apps for the whole film. But in returns, they are one of the investors. So we use their characters. You see the delivery boy is one of his established characters. It's one of their side business. So it's sort of mutual benefit. Yeah, we are helping each other and to push our limit. Because if I want to do something like this, the graphics, I guess for normal price, maybe 10 times of the budget. Now he's charging me, and besides as an investors, we also invite Hayes and his twin brothers to be one of the actors. So when you saw the film, the boss, the investor of the role funding app are twin brothers. They are saying how and Ali are doing a good job, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think one thing for us to add, it's well, as I said, now is a difficult time to make movie, but we really want to tell a story. So for us, filmmaking is a teamwork. Does not mean that director or filmmaker control everything. So for all the three projects, Amos and I be involved, is a teamwork. So we are new filmmaker, new producer. We would like to work with new and young actor from Hong Kong, and even the crew from DP, editor, graphic designer, they are all up and coming young creative from Hong Kong. And especially animation, we would say definitely it's another aspect of the Hong Kong cinema that have not been missed. So that's why we love to work with these young creative, and so they are not, our relationship is not like we pay and then they deliver a service. We welcome them to have a lot of input. So that is how we are able to work together. So we really hope through this platform, like through the film, all these creative, they could promote themselves. And yeah, we think, yeah, maybe money, we do not have much, but if we get together, that we could really make something much more interesting, and that is the spirit of we, WE. Yeah.
Yeah, we can grow together, and that's the most beautiful things. Yes.
Okay, so I think we're at about the end of our conversation today. I think what we can say is, what we can all agree is that although it's a challenging time for Hong Kong cinema, especially for independent cinema, based on today's conversation, based on these talents that are up here on stage, it's alive and well, and there's hope and there's optimism. So let's give a round of applause to our three panelists, and wish you well with your second film and your fourth film, and everybody just stay out of trouble and stay healthy. Yeah. Okay, very good.
Thank you, Michael.
Yeah.